We're live, sir.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahbashim Yahshua I'm priest and officer 500 Area, the I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K, which is the Israel School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And in the I.S.U.P.K, we teach the truth about the Bible, about Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We show them that they are the 12 tribes of Israel. We show them that these children, these people are the children of God. So by doing that, we show them not to do certain things in this life. We show them the real truth of the Bible. We are the home of the truth. And today we're gonna talk about the feminization of Black people, man. The agenda to render our men into women. And Officer Baba Kwasha, do you have the definition of effeminate, Baba Kwasha? We're gonna see what the Bible say. Let's see if I can get it.
I'm gonna get it for you right now, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, out of the Merriam-Webster dictionary, effeminate, having feminine qualities, untypical of a man. Not mainly untypical.
Wait. Untypical of a man. So you're not supposed to be an effeminate in this kingdom, man. As a black Hispanic and Native Indian man, you're supposed to be masculine, man. You understand?
Right.
What they call toxic masculinity, man, is your right. It's who you are. It's how you're supposed to be, man. You know what's toxic? Being an effeminate, man. Being like a woman, man. That's effeminate, man. That's toxic, man.
Right.
You understand? Being masculine, there's nothing wrong with being a masculine man. There's nothing, but this kingdom will have you thinking that being a masculine man is wrong. You gotta be in touch with your feminine side of Abijah. You understand? You gotta be in touch with your feminine side to put your right. This is what this world is showing us. You understand? They hate the men in the UPK. Why? Because we are masculine. They want us to be soft. They want us to talk like your Christian preacher, man. It's untypical of a man to be like a woman, man. It's untypical of a man to be emotional, man. We didn't know this back in the day. You know what? Thank God for the man in the UPK. Thank God for Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? We showing you, Black man, how you're supposed to be. And you're not supposed to be effeminate, man. Go ahead.
Okay, shalom. So Yahbashim Yahshua.
Shalom, sir. Most High in Christ.
Hey, shalom. So Yahbashim Yahshua. I passed the class to Priest and Officer 5000 Aban.
Shalom, Akim. Yahbashim Yahshua. Water Officer IDR. All right, let's get our questions in the room. Get questions in the room. We start, all right?
Sir, I do have one question. Sir, Salakia, sir. Why do Christians use Salakia, sir? I have to find the verse specifically, but they basically use the verse that says not to eat blood to say that they can't get blood transfusions. Why do Christians in the world use that verse? That was my question.
Yeah, because they think a blood transfusion is when you get a blood transfusion, you're eating blood. Let's look up a blood transfusion. Can everyone hear me?
Sir, I can hear you.
Okay.
Salakia, sir, you wanted me to look up blood transfusion?
Blood. I'll read it. You can get the scripture on eating blood. I have blood transfusion. This is a basic Wikipedia definition. But a blood transfusion is a process of transferring blood products into one circulation intravenously. Look up intravenous. There we go. All right, intravenous therapy, IV therapy is a medical technique that delivers liquid directly into a person's vein. So IV therapy is not the same as you eating something. You understand drinking blood is drinking it, taking it into your stomach, putting it into your mouth. And you're drinking it not to save your life, but you're drinking it to worship some God. You're drinking it because it's a custom that you do. Everyone understand?
Khan, not one Khan.
Understand the spirit of the law. Okay, and you need to know that taking something in your vein is not the same as eating it. Okay, the intravenous route of administration is commonly used for hydration solutions to provide nutrition in those who cannot consume food or water by mouth. Okay, so it's not, you're not eating. You're getting fluid into your body. Not eating is a totally different process, totally different organs involved. When you eat something, it goes to your stomach. When you drink something, it goes to your stomach. Blood transfusion is not eating. You're not eating blood at all. You're getting blood into your circulation. Else you would be eating your own blood when it's in circulation. That's not how it works. Food gets eaten, the vitamins get broken down from the food, and the vitamins go into your bloodstream, not the other way around. If you've got blood leaking into your stomach and you're drinking it, you've got a serious goddamn health problem, because that is not normal. All right, blood transfusion, intravenous IV is not the same as you eating a sandwich. Not at all. All right. So let me read on blood transfusion. Early transfusions use whole blood, but modern medical practices commonly use only components of blood. Blah 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 blah. Those are the medical uses. That's about it. So you get the point, right? It's used to get blood into your circulation rapidly. It's not eating. You know, Christians don't know the law at all. Let's get the scripture on eating blood. We're drinking it.
Khan, not one Khan, sir. I have Deuteronomy 12 and 23.
But
Deuteronomy 12 and 23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh.
yeah, so this is talking about you eating something, taking it into your stomach. What are you doing with the rest of the flesh? You are eating it. You're not mashing it down and putting it into your veins. Okay, a blood transfusion, the point of it is not to get nutrients in the blood, not to have the blood pass through your digestive tract. The point of intravenous solution, the point of blood transfusions rather, is to get blood into your circulation rapidly. You're not eating. You're not eating the blood. You're not. What does it say? Eating or drinking? In other words.
Khan, sir. It says eating, sir.
Yeah, you're not eating blood by doing that, right? You're not eating medicines when you get a medicine shot into your vein. It's not the same process at all. All right. So they just don't know what it means to eat. All right, that they eat every day and they eat pork every day, crab, shrimp, and
Right.
lobster. So that's what I would be more worried about. Blood transfusion is absolutely lawful, and what they do is they take the Bible and they use the Bible to hurt people. The fake
Khan,
Israelites say you can't get a blood transfusion, so you get shot. It's just God. God wanted you to die. All right. And Christians say that all the time. There's one Christian said some cat died of COVID-19 because he didn't have enough faith. All right. He didn't have enough faith, so that's why he died. And that's disgusting. They're wolves in sheep clothing. They take the Bible and they use the Bible to hurt people. That's what your grandmother did with the Bible. Christians, Jehovah's Witnesses, anyone outside the UPK, they use the Bible to use it to hurt people. They use it to oppress. All right, outside of what is lawful, what is not lawful. It is lawful to get a blood transfusion. It is lawful to take medicines to survive. Everyone understand?
Khan.
All you
sir.
need to know is blood transfusion is not so that you can eat the blood. It's not so you can drink it. All right? Blood transfusions occur so you can get blood into your circulation. It's lawful to have blood in your circulation. They have to find a scripture where it's unlawful to get blood into your circulation. All right? Because that's what you're doing if you're not eating it. A transfusion is totally separate from consumption. Everyone understand?
Khan, not one Khan, sir. Salakia, sir.
But
Like when I was having the conversation with this Christian, he basically said like he can't eat blood, and I said this scripture has like what he pulled the scripture and said this is why he can't have a blood transfusion, and I said this is you don't eat blood for a blood transfusion. Then he said if I need a blood transfusion and I'm in a car accident, I'd rather die before getting the blood transfusion.
All right, we'll see. I mean, just say okay and walk off. You don't have to get into a ton of out of lengthy battle for people like that. If he wants to die, we'll be with him. All right.
Right.
All right. Matthew chapter 15, verse 9, the precept. But in vain they do worship me. He worships the Most High. He worships Yahweh in vain. Yahweh didn't come so that people could worry about goddamn blood transfusions, vaccine, and all that other nonsense. Like Negroes are worried about non-factors. Okay, there was medicine during the time of Christ, just like there are medicines today, and that wasn't his concern. All right, his concern was with helping his people. But in vain they do worship Sadducees and Pharisees, the religious leaders, and they're worried about blood transfusions. I forget what Christian group that is. I don't know if it's all Christians or what that opposes to blood transfusions, but they worship in Christ in vain. They don't worship him. They don't follow him at all. All right, I would venture to guess that he doesn't eat lawful. He eats unlawful food and does whatever he wants outside of taking blood. All right. Let's read on. Teaching for doctrine the commandments of men. They take the commandments of men, the commands of man. Some man that's scared of doctors said that you can't get blood transfusions or you can't take the COVID vaccine because it has pig's blood in it and babies. They mash up babies and they put them in a blender and put it into this vaccine and other ridiculousness. That's a commandment of men. Man teaches you that. There's no scripture in the Bible that says you can't take the vaccine. In fact, the Lord said in Ecclesiastes 38th chapter to honor the physician. You are not a doctor.
Right.
None of you are doctors. You're not a doctor. So if you're sick or if there's a plague going around killing people and the vaccine is produced and it is advised to take it, go ahead and take it. Why? Because that came from us. The vaccine, even the blood transfusions, a black man came up with the technique of blood transfusion. So-called black men, Hispanic men, Native American men. All right? All this stuff comes from us. It's science and innovations, engineering. Mexico City was a beautifully built city. I can't recall specifically how they did it, but the I.S.U.P.K down there, the native Mexicans, built the city like a giant raft, and they would use trees and they would use grass to build like a barge, a natural barge on the water. And because of that trees or what have you in it, the roots were able to make the ground solid, with a solid block. Okay. And the natives of Mexico, the natives of Central America do that to this day. They were excellent engineers. So the tribe of Judah, excellent with engineering, design, electronics, and within the medical field as well. But these people, they teach the commandments of men as doctrine. That's like he's teaching as if it's a law. Listen, if you get shot, you don't want to take blood, go ahead. That's up to you. All right, but now I.S.U.P.K, we teach to live, and we don't use the Bible to abuse people. All right?
Right.
What it is, the truth. So if you're shot, you take a blood transfusion. You get a blood transfusion, you have not sinned. If you get a blood transfusion, you have not sinned. That's according to the priests of God, the prophets of the Most High. You do whatever you want to do. All right? Next.
Con, sir.
You're right.
So, like I said, if I could, right? I have a question regarding Psalms 92 and verse 10, sir. The precept reads, this is the book of Psalms 92 and verse 10. So, like, if I could, I'm going to read it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But mine horn, so like it reads, but my horn shalt thou exalt, like the horn of an unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. So, regarding this question, sir, my question is, if I could, what is the meaning of what's the meaning of the horn here on this precept, as well as the horn, and the horn of an unicorn?
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask this in class. I think you asked me this. I never got to ask it in class. I'm gonna ask it on Monday to get the specific breakdown on the horn in the first part. The horn of a unicorn. The point of this verse is that he would be exalted. The horn of a unicorn is exalted. Think of a unicorn like a is it an antelope? It's like an antelope or some sort of stag or deer, what have you? That who's a horse. No, not a horse. It'd be like a stag or a deer whose horns grew together, like intertwined, such that they had one horn. All right, that's what a unicorn is, and that you find an animal, or a deer, or I believe horses. Some horses have horns as well. You find a horse or a deer, what have you, with that on his head, and you found something that's rare. You found something that's different from everything else. All right, and so that horse would be prized. I know those horses were prized back in the day because it was very rare. He would be prized just like it. I think the specific breakdown on the horn. That's the point of the verse. You understand? All right. Anything else?
So that's it for me.
So, any other questions?
Go on, sir. Salaki, sir.
What?
So, how would I respond to a brother that accept the Septuagint but want to throw out the King James, sir?
Why did he accept the Septuagint?
Because like he was giving me verses that was like changed in the King James, that they were, because they didn't have the same words, but basically it meant exactly the same thing. Like for instance, Isaiah 14 verse 21 in the King James, it says, "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities." However, in the Septuagint, instead of saying cities, it's saying wars. So to that brother, that was like a mistake or something that the King James did, took away and replaced.
He's saying it's a mistake.
Come on, sir.
Okay. Well, this is the Old Testament, right?
Come on, sir. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21.
Okay. What language is the Old Testament written in?
It was written in Hebrew, sir.
Okay. What language is the Septuagint?
In Greek, sir.
Yeah. They taking Hebrew, going to Greek, and going back to English. I don't know how it could be more accurate when you're translating it twice. The less translations you have in the text, the closer a text is to its original version, the closer it retains its original meaning. Simple. Just look up translations. The more you translate something, the less accurate it becomes, or the less to its original meaning it becomes. Because if I pass a message to you, you pass it to someone else, the message is going to be tainted, changed. All right. Since it's in Hebrew, you know it's in Hebrew. Go to the interlinear. He's saying the word city should say walls, correct?
Come on, sir.
Okay.
But I told him, so like sir, I told him it basically is the same thing, because this is talking about the Edomite, and I asked him how they build their cities, and when they get, and he told me by war, and after war, what do they do after the war? They build cities. So I told him it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, it's cities within city walls. Today there's city limits. You'll see a sign when you're entering Montreal. There'll be a sign when you're leaving Montreal. You'll see signs. Toronto population 2 million. Cornwall population 50,000. In old times, that sign would have a wall around it. All right.
Salakia, sir, not wall, but wars.
Wars?
Come on, sir.
Okay, well, that's not correct. Yeah, that's not correct. The word cities being wars is totally different. It's totally different. It doesn't retain its original meaning. The word for city there is ir, I-R, I and the ra, and it means city. You just look it up. So in the Hebrew it means city. Going to the Greek it means walls, which is not correct. All right. And then also I had a list of stuff that's wrong with the Septuagint too. I can send it to you after, but there's a little piece of history that says that the apostles did not use the Septuagint. The apostles, the New Testament did not use it, nor did the prophets after them. The Septuagint, for those of you that don't know, the Septuagint is a translation that was performed under the Ptolemies, so under Edomites that were in Egypt. Some Israelites brought in the Tanakh, the Hebrew Old Testament, quote unquote, and they had it translated to the Greek so that the Ptolemies could read it, because they were, like all things, beginning to glom onto our culture. No different than Eminem being allowed in the rap game. It's no different than Vanilla Ice. No different than really all Western music, country Western, which is from the Gadites and the Issacharites. Rap music coming from the tribe of Judah. Jazz, classical rock coming from the tribe of Judah. Punk rock coming from the tribe of Benjamin. All right, so they appropriated our culture back in the day, and they made something called the Septuagint. The Septuagint is totally unreliable, even for that verse, because it literally says city in the Hebrew. All right, so the Old Testament was written in Hebrew. You can look that up. Translated to Greek later, then it's translated to English. That verse is not correct. This is one of the he's giving you to show you that that is not correct. All right.
The water, sir.
All right, and I can send you that little clip that shows that the prophets, the apostles didn't use it. They didn't use that. Any other questions?
That's it for me, sir.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, so let's go to Revelation 16, verse Revelation 16 and 10. I'm going to finish up the breakdown of Revelation 16, and I'm going to roll. Claudia will take the rest of the class. All right. Also, let's give a Trooper Shari want a hand. Trooper Shari want taking his officer's test. All right. Know how he passes it.
Right. All right.
Yeah, and Trooper Urad, you'll be taking yours in about 2 to 3 weeks. I'll let you know about the date. It'll be on Saturday, probably within 2 weeks. All right. Revelation 16 and 10.
Sir. Sir. Appreciate that.
No sweat. Trooper Urad, read Revelation 16 and 10. You have it, all right?
Okay. So you said Revelation 16 or 15?
16 and 10. We're finishing the rest of Revelation 16 chapter.
16, correct?
Right.
Answer.
All right, Rakeem, the Israelite. Come on, brother. If you're watching, smash the like button, subscribe, sign in. If you don't have your Hebrew name, make sure you sign in. Go ahead. Should be right.
Sir. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels.
10, verse 10.
Excuse me. This is Revelation 16 and verse 10. And the 5th angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they nagged their tongues for pain.
And all their tongues for pain. For pain, meaning they're like biting their tongue for pain and anguish. They don't know what to say. This fifth curse, this 5th vial, this 5th plague is going upon the seat of the beast. What does the seat of the beast represent? His kingdom. The seat of a kingdom will be the king's throne. The Lord, through this angel, is pouring out a vial, a plague on the seat of the beast, on the government. All right? And the kingdom, once this vial was poured on the seat, the kingdom became full of darkness. What is that talking about? Insurrection, capital insurrection. If you saw a few weeks ago, those devils flocking the White House was biblical prophecy, one of the plagues of Revelation, the 16th chapter. Okay, along with COVID-19.
Right.
Darkness is over the seat of the beast. Darkness has been over it since Donald Trump's been elected. They didn't know where this country was going. Everybody was lying and saying that this is a post-racial society. We're in a post-racial era. America's a melting pot. And lo and behold, Donald Trump comes. Donald Trump flips the whole switch. Donald Trump shows what America truly was, and America was a racist and hateful kingdom. Hateful to who? Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Now everybody's dark, shocked, worried. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where to go. Right? Uncertainty all over this kingdom. That's a plague. And they are uncertain. They are shaking and running and clicking their heels and praying to go back to 2005.
Right.
George Bush isn't looking so bad now, is he? Before Donald Trump, it was George W. Bush. He was the worst president. Okay? Just because you didn't count the ballots, just because you can't find the ballots, just because you get all the votes doesn't mean you're going to win. Remember that? Gangster Bush? Gangster Bush is looking real good now. Gangster Bush is looking like Julius Caesar with Donald Trump.
Right.
Before, he was the worst president. Now Donald Trump came along, and now Joseph Biden, Broadway Joe, and Kamala Harris. Darkness is over this kingdom. Darkness is over this kingdom. They don't know who or what's going on. You had countries hacking the U.S. Treasury. They were in the U.S. Treasury for months, doing God knows what, the Russians in the Treasury. All that stimulus money, all that was scanned and analyzed by the Russians. Patterns of the Treasury when they send out money. Because remember, the U.S. Treasury is in control of the printing of the money. And there's a video just came out on YouTube. I'm going to check it out. That says that America printed, I think, the most money in history in the last 2 months or something like that. They just printed out a whole ton of money in the United States allegedly, and that's a huge problem. Why is that a huge problem? Because when those of you brothers that know economics, when you print out a bunch of money and just push it into the market, put it into bank, and people take it, what's going to happen is the price of goods is going to go up because the market sees that all these people have money. And what you'll have is something called inflation. You brothers, officers of Baja, you brothers that are in the history, inflation is what caused World War I, and it's what led to World War II. Inflation.
Right, sir.
Okay. All right. Hitler and them were pissed off at the fake Jew because while it was 200 marks, some crazy amount of German marks to buy a loaf of bread after World War I, the so-called Jew was the middleman of everything and was controlling the country. And they were upset at that, and they used that to fuel their hatred and rage against the so-called Jew and cooked them in ovens for 4 years, okay, and tried to take over Europe and were only stopped by the Russian winter and the United States. The only thing to stop Nazi Germany. And that's what's going to happen here on this side. This is going to lead to civil war, and it's going to lead to the Third World War. You heard about the Reddit, right? Wall Street bet. They took over GameStop. Regular Edomites bought GameStop stock, and the hedge fund Edomites, the high up Edomites are shaking in their boots. Okay, that's what's going on. There's darkness over this kingdom. They don't know what's going on now. The regular old Edomites, anybody with a Robin Hood app can shake the stock market. They say it's nothing. Darkness over the sea of the deep. And his kingdom's full of darkness, and the people are gnawing on their tongues for pain. Nobody knows what to say. No one knows. Let's read on. Verse 11.
Oh, so verse 11. Philosophy, because of their preference, not. So like again,
Everyone here, keep it right. He's trying to real choppy.
so like I said, we're getting.
Yeah, we're getting some feedback.
Salakia, sir, there's a heavy feedback right now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Khan, sir, I can hear you, but there is a heavy feedback.
Okay, how about now?
I can still hear it.
Can you hear me?
Khan, sir, I can hear you. Officer Adiyar and Trooper Urad are muted, and I can't hear the feedback right now.
Okay, no sweat, most high in Christ. All right, so Trooper Urad, read verse 11 again.
Verse 11, and blasphemy the God of heaven because of their pains and their swords, and repented not of their deeds.
Right, so when it says they blaspheme the God of heaven, who knows what that means?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
They talk against the God of heaven and make it seem like they're the gods.
Yeah, and the blasphemy is this disgusting lie. Did you guys see the Nobel laureate speech at the her poetry at the inauguration?
Sir, I didn't even watch the inauguration, sir.
I didn't either, but I saw something that annoyed me. The only people that were singing were Latinas and Black women. That's one thing that I saw that got under my skin. All these nations here in America is a melting pot where there was no Arab belly dancing, there was no Arab carpet riding or banging the head on the carpet, there was no curry contest, there was no calculator contest with Moab.
Right, sir.
Who can get a 2400 on the SATs? There was none of that. There were none of those challenges. There was no 1600 on the SATs. Who can code the FAS? There were no coding challenges, but there was singing and rhyming from Black and Latino women. It was embarrassing. It was horrible. This land is your land from Jennifer Lopez. This land is your land. Puerto Rico isn't even a state, woman. Are you kidding me? It's not your land. Puerto Rico is a territory. They didn't give them those Negroes, those light-skinned Negroes, a state. They didn't give them statehood. Puerto Rico owns $9 billion in debt, a tiny island with $9 billion in public debt. Puerto Rico does not have enough money to keep their lights on. I'm not exaggerating. The lights are not on without American loans. You got an Edomite running the island, and the Israelites are in sheer poverty. And so much so that they come up to the Bronx. Okay? The Bronx and Rochester, Philadelphia, sir. Boston. Go ahead.
That is so, like, for what J-Lo did to be singing at that inauguration, that's so disgusting. Like, that's very disgusting, and like that would make any Israelite who knows any knowledge of the oppression that we've gone through very angry, because just a while ago Donald Trump was throwing paper towel at the tribe of Ephraim when they went through that hurricane, and she's up there singing.
He playing basketball with them. Oh, hey, whoo, tossing little paper towels at them. Okay, and we've given so much to this damn country, man. We mean this man is your land, this man is our land. We've died in this country. That movie Rambo, I'm going to send that to you as well as about the history. That movie Rambo, Sylvester Stallone, that was based on an Ephraimite. There's a real Rambo who lives in I think Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. The real Rambo is alive. He has to seclude himself because he's a nut from killing all those people. There was the real Rambo was a Puerto Rican. There was one, I think he was an Israelite or a Puerto Rican, was shot like 16 times, lost his legs in battle, and saved his whole platoon from getting massacred by the Viet Cong. Like, we're the mighty warriors, man. Like, we died in these different theaters in World War II. Okay,
damn right, sir.
In the sky with the Tuskegee Airmen. All right, in Vietnam, in the Korean War. My grandfather fought in the Korean War, and he told my father the story where he's in a foxhole with his buddy. And I think at that time they had segregated units as well. My grandfather was from South Carolina. So he's in a foxhole with his buddy, and he's shooting, firing at the Koreans or Chinese at that point, whoever it was. And he was, yelling for his friend. They're in the heat of battle. They're in a hole that was, I think, was a crater that was made by artillery fire, right? They're in there firing. And he's like, yo, something, calling his friend, yo, yelling, screaming at his friend. He felt something warm on him and saw the top of a hole in his friend's head, man.
Good night.
That's what we suffered in this place. And for her to have to go up there and sing, "This land is your land, this land is our land," that's disgusting, man.
Right.
That's disgusting. Officer Zabaji, I need you to get me that. Please get me that video with the poet laureate at the inauguration. First of all, no disrespect to the tribe of Judah, no disrespect to this sister. This was the worst poetry I've ever heard in my life. It's terrible. It was awful.
So just on a carnal level of poetry, rhyming, it was terrible. This woman went to Harvard University. You know what they call her? They call her a lyrical poet. You know what a lyrical poet is? A rapper.
Con, sir.
You
Con, sir, I
you go
know.
to Harvard University, you're at a presidential inauguration, and they call you a rapper. That's disrespectful. Anybody with a phone, anybody with you know, a recording studio can become a quote unquote rapper. Every street in Toronto has some rappers. Every block is a rapper in Toronto. Okay, she's a poet laureate, and they call her essentially a rapper. And she went up there, brother, and just she went up there and she just this poetry, this speech she gave, it is literally the textbook definition of the mark of the beast. And listen, there was no microchip assembly required. No microchip implantation was needed.
Right.
They didn't just shoot it into her. This is the mark of the beast. Please play it for me when you find it.
Con, another one. Con, Salakia, sir. You want me to play it on the live stream, sir?
If you can, please share the screen. Try and get one that's not from CBS or something, because they're gonna take the whole video down because of censorship. Even though this video is being used for educational purposes, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, we're using this video for educational purposes. If white supremacists can talk about killing black people, then I'm sure a few Negroes and Latinos posing a video from the inauguration, I don't think that'll hurt you too bad. All right.
Con, sir.
So this video is for educational purposes. Go ahead, Urad.
Con, sir, I'm gonna get on it right now.
Most High in Christ, Urad.
Sir, if I could. So, just a question on the topic here, right? So the blaspheme here of the Most High, right, is like, is it? So it's like putting our people in display like that. Is that what that is? Is that the blasphemy?
Yes, I'm gonna show you. I'm going to show you an example of blaspheming the Most High, blaspheming God. What she did was absolute blasphemy. Anybody that's literate and can read the news can clearly correlate Babylon with America, can correlate some of the events, at least of Revelation, with the Bible, can correlate Ezekiel 38 with what's going on in the Middle East right now with Russia, China, Libya, North Korea, France, England, with Brexit and all of that. She went up there and she is praying, hoping, pleading for the health of this country. That is blasphemy against God. God clearly wants America destroyed. And she's from, and that's another thing too. She said on her Twitter page, she says she's from South Central Los Angeles. Here we go. Every Negro's from the hood. Okay, this woman, she may have been from South Central. I don't know. She went to Santa Monica. She went to a private school in Santa Monica, K through 12, and then she went to Harvard. Okay, she went up there and posed like she was some poor black girl from the hood. She did this. That woman is bourgeoisie. She's well-to-do. All right. She got up there and pretended like she was one of the masses, and she's nose to nose with the devil and blasphemed the Most High. All right. Read or get the video, please.
Yes, I understand.
I'm sorry, in Christ. Try to get it from someone that's not CBS or ABC. Someone independent, preferably. Again, this video is for educational purposes. I do not own the rights to this video. YouTube, Facebook, Zuckerberg. I don't own the rights, man. Don't block us.
Con, sir, I'm gonna try and find the video right now, sir.
You just go to YouTube and just search Nobel Poet Laureate inauguration. It's a so-called black woman, Amanda Gorman or something. It's horrible. All right. And
Con, sir, Con, sir, I found it on YouTube. I'm gonna try and play it on YouTube, and hopefully my computer doesn't start to freeze. I'm gonna play it 1 second, sir. Give me one moment.
All right, Rakeem, shalom, brother. Officers RY, shalom. Yeah, Bashim Shabakata.
Con, sir, I have it right here, sir.
Con, hopefully it works. Yeah, play this. This is terrible. Can you get some sound?
Salaki, sir, can you hear the sound?
Mr. President,
Yes.
Dr. Biden,
All right, disregard. You can watch that in your own time, but it's an example of blasphemy. She's hoping that America can heal, and she even said in the video, in this poetry, in this video, she even said that her forefathers, when they set foot on the northeastern seaboard or the northeast of the United States in the 1600s, I said, Negro, none of your forefathers were on the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. No, that went to the Hispaniola. None of your forefathers were on the Mayflower. What in the hell is she talking about? Like she literally said that her forefathers were the people that came here from England on boats. She literally said that. She has the mark of the beast. Those are
Right.
not her forefathers. Her forefathers were in a shack in the South, and you had a quota to meet, and were getting whipped and beaten and chased and torn apart by dogs, and were picking sugarcane in the West Indian Islands, or picking sugarcane with a muzzle on their mouth in Haiti. Those are not her forefathers, but they are her forefathers because she is marked by the beast. Watch that video. She'll say it towards the end that allude to her forefathers or our forefathers coming onto these shores from the north, coming on these shores, the northeastern shore or something like that, from England, something as pilgrims, some nonsense. But that was blasphemy. It's disgusting. And they'll continue to do that. They're trying to piece together the Olympics. They might have 2 people at the Olympics, have an audience of none. They're going to try and have the Olympics in Tokyo or whatever. And that's going to be a joke as well. And in
Most
that
High
Olympics
Christ.
this summer, they're going to push for unity, and they're going to push for everyone to come together and in peace. They're going to really show their hatred for the most as the time goes on. Read on.
Verse 12. And the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
That the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Now, what is this talking about? This is the 6th plague. He poured out his vial on the river Euphrates, and the water thereof is dried up. The river Euphrates is drying up. Waters are drying up, but this is manifold. What is this talking about metaphorically? Who knows? Think about water. What happens on water? Why would water be important? We got the part where the drinking water would be poisoned, the oceans would be poisoned and polluted. Why is this river important? Because we already read about streams and rivers being covered in blood or what have you.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Is the water important in this verse because water is life? Like we can't survive without water?
You're getting close. What happens on water? It's a hint. You're right.
It's like, sir, food source, transportation of boats, stuff like that.
Transportation of boats for what?
Like I said, for importing and exporting goods.
Trade. That's the answer. Trade. And shipping. Trade and shipping. That's what this verse is talking about. If you again, history, the Euphrates River was important for trade in its day. It led out. Where does it bleed out to? It bleeds out, I think, to the Indian Ocean or the Arabian Sea. I think it's out to the Arabian Sea, over by the Strait of Hormuz that the Iranians are fighting the world over, over that oil. That Strait of Hormuz is what the Euphrates spills out into. What are they doing over there? Fighting over what? Oil, trade, exports. That's what this is talking about. Trade will be dried up. Okay, trade, manufactured goods, the movement of manufactured goods. Just this past year, the United States, for some odd reason, rejected the export of billions of dollars of farm goods or something like that. All right. U.S. ports are not taking U.S. goods. They are instead taking Chinese goods. Specifically, trade is being dried up over there in the east with the oil and all that due to COVID-19. With the trade being dried up, what can't countries do? If they can't trade, what can't they do?
Slovakia, sir.
Go ahead.
They can't make money, sir.
Can't make money. They can't expand their economy. So what's the quickest way to make money? What's the quickest way to acquire new land? War. And that's what's preparing the kings of the East. Who are the kings of the East? Iran, the Middle East, all bleeding out into China as well. What are they doing in China? They're fighting over the South China Sea. Not over the pollution of the land. We already read about that. Not over the quality of the drinking water, but over the exportation of manufactured goods. Don't get it twisted. The Chinese are not floating Chinese vessels, okay, to sell Dollar Tree goods in Jakarta, Indonesia. That's not why they're trying to take the South China Sea. They're not taking the South China Sea to sell mukbang and Yingling and them down in South Asia some Dollar Tree goods. They're taking over the South China Sea to suffocate manufactured goods from being, or stop manufactured goods from being exported to the United States. You got to pass through that South China Sea to get to California, right? Everything that's made in Asia, made in China has to pass through. Made in Taiwan has to pass through or in the area of the South China Sea. That's why China's taking it as biblical. South China Sea, Strait of Hormuz, trade and manufacture being weakened, being lightened, and that's what's going on right now during COVID, and it's going to lead to war. All right, that's the sixth plague: trade being weakened. All right,
Slovakia, sir.
Go ahead.
I had that video downloaded now, the inauguration speech. It'll work from when I download it. Off YouTube playing it, it just freezes. But if you do want it, I have it downloaded.
All right, let's do it. Let's watch it.
Come on, sir. Slovakia, sir. Let me find it. One moment, sir.
Go on, let's what? Let's read verse 13, Trooper Iran.
Come on, sir. Verse Slovakia, Revelations 16 and 13 now. And it reads, "And I saw 3 unclean spirits, like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet."
Mm-hmm. So these are 3 unclean. These are 3 unclean spirits come out of the mouth of the beast. How does an unclean spirit come out of the mouth of something?
Slovakia, sir.
What?
Through words, sir.
Words, precept.
Slovakia, sir. The precept, could a precept be it's not what you eat that makes you clean? Makes you unclean?
More direct one will be 2 Kings 22, where the demons in heaven were saying, "I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets," when they're trying to get Ahab killed. The Lord was trying to get Ahab put to death. He called his angels to a council, his sons to a council, and the demon came up. A lying spirit came up, said, "Look, man, I'll get him. I'll get him to die. I'll fulfill your orders." And the Lord said, "Okay, how are you going to do this?" He said, "I'm going to be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets." So Ahab listened to his prophets. They were false prophets, but they were his prophets. The demon came and was a lying spirit in their mouth. These unclean spirits are coming out of their mouth. This isn't, magic. The unclean spirits coming out like frogs, meaning it's pouring out of their mouth. You understand? Like someone saying, stop spewing that crap out of your mouth, or just spit it out. Right? That's what this is talking about. This nonsense will come out of their mouth like frogs. Trooper Rod?
Sir. Could this be a manifold scripture as well? Like, and speaking to, like in context, speaking about white Jesus, like the word says the fake prophet. So like, I
Yes,
don't.
it is. Yeah, it is manifold about them lying on, again, the character of Christ, the character of the Most High. They're doing that to this day. Who's doing it? It says the dragon. So their military is lying. They're still, America is still somehow saying that they are a beacon of freedom, that their air superiority means freedom. That's the dragon. NATO, again, saying that they're fighting for good. The United Nations saying they're fighting for good. Those are lies. Those are unclean spirits. Those are demons coming out of their mouth and out of the mouth of the beast. The beast is saying, I mean, this government, America, we love all people, and we'll all get through this together. Amanda Gorman was part of that, whatever her name is. Miss Gorman was a part of that, part of the beast spewing out unclean spirits like frogs, just spewing nonsense. We'll get through this together. We'll get through what together? We didn't get through police shootings together. We didn't get through
Right.
Trayvon Martin together. We didn't get through Botham John together. We didn't get through crack together. There's still crack on the streets. It's ridiculous. 2020, there's still crack. Been half a century. Still crack and crackheads. We didn't get through anything together. What makes you think? What in West Hill makes you think we're going to get through a plague together? Give me a break, man. That's an unclean spirit. That's something that's disgusting. All right. And out of the mouth of the false prophet, the Christian pastor. Christian pastors are quiet now. Wait till Daddy Biden, when Daddy Biden steps up in that White House and starts giving out some speeches, you'll see the Christian pastors come out like they were always out. Like they weren't running scared, okay, chasing their tail, wagging around in the church on some online feed. Okay, the I.S.U.P.K, we've been in the streets. Operations are still going on, but your false prophet, he's spewing out unclean spirits. Nonsense about a vaccine and all this other crap. And hoping we get together. Praying in the White House while devils ransack it like Rome. Play the video.
Come on, sir.
Salaki, I don't want.
Go ahead.
I remember when I was in church, they used to say like those spirit that comes out of the false prophet mouth and everything. Since they're like frog, they were like gray aliens.
Good night.
Ask a Christian pastor to explain this chapter. I don't know what he'll say. A bunch of fairy tales and stories and Dante's Inferno. Play the video, please. Let's listen to this nonsense.
Come on, Adawan, come on.
There's no sound, Doc.
There's no sounds. Salakia, sir.
Lucky, sir, if I could.
Go ahead, brother.
Sir. So the dragon will be like the dragon here is in this context is the military you mentioned.
Yes, that's not just in this context. That's in general in Revelation. The dragon is our oppressor's military might. In the 13th chapter, it says that the dragon drops fire out of the sky. Who does that? His military through his stealth bombers, the B-52 bomber. When they drop the fat man and the little boy on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they literally drop fire from the sky. All right. And they fly like what? Like a dragon, like a flying, creature. All right. Like a flying reptile. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
If I may, the U.S. military, they have a drone that when it shoots its rockets, it creates a big explosion where it sucks all the oxygen out of the air and sets all the oxygen on the air on fire. And they literally call it hellfire.
Yeah, hellfire. They drop fire from the sky, rain down fire from the sky. All right. That's their motto. And they name their weapons hellfire. You understand. They're the dragon. Play the video.
Right. Come on, sir. Salakia, sir, can you hear the sound now?
Hold on. No, it's not. It's like not going through your speaker or something.
Salakia, sir, it's giving me technical difficulties.
Okay, don't even sweat it. Maybe you can play it in your respective classes. Officer Daraj can do the same. But in any
Come on,
event,
sir.
those are the unclean spirits. Read verse 14.
Verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils.
They're the spirits of devils. They're the vibes of devils, of liars. And Amanda Gorman, the Christian church, the Catholic church, that's what they're pushing right now. Okay? This American military, that's what they're pushing right now. The beast, this government, for sure, this government, that's what they're pushing right now. Okay? We need to come together and we need to be together in unity. That's the spirit of devils. Read on.
Working miracles.
Working miracles. Oh, really? Oh, you're going to remain? You're going to keep air superiority? Really? American military, you're going to be a beacon of freedom on all shores? You're going to stretch your military out over all the earth? United States military has zones or central or commands over each zone in the world. LATCOM, Latin America, AFRICOM, Africa America. I forget what they call Middle East, but I think Central Com or what have you for the Middle East, Asia Com, and Eurocom for Europe. They split the earth up into 12. There's 12 command zones. Ironic. Okay. Ironic. They split the earth up into 12 command zones, but they did that. 12 different command zones run by the United States military. They spread themselves out over all the earth. That's a miracle. You can control all the earth, the United States military. That's the spirit of liars working miracles. You're going to be a beacon of freedom on all the earth? Really? America's going to last, Christian pastor? We're going to come together in strength and unity? Really? They're murdering black men in their garages. Black men are being found lynched from trees. Sisters are still going missing. I guess that they just forgot about all that. Nobody's posting or mentioning anything about sisters going missing, but there's a busset challenge and there's now a silhouette challenge as well. Okay.
Good
I guess
night.
kidnappers don't watch. They don't watch the busted challenge. They don't watch it. Pimps don't watch the silhouette challenge. Nobody wants to traffic women. No one would target the women that everyone thinks would be making challenges. They'll be traveling. They're just traveling to go to a strip club, or they're just traveling to have sex. No one will go and attack those women. That would never happen because they're strong and independent. It's a joke. It's a joke, and it's leading us like lambs to the slaughter. Go ahead, Officer Zabadia.
Right.
Like, because of Martin Luther King's nightmare, like, I just watched throughout the news the other day where a sister, she was dealing with an Edomite, and he's using the excuse that he wasn't on his medication, so he's not guilty of trying to kill her. Where I'm talking about the NFL star who basically he put his girlfriend, who's a sister, in a chokehold, and she woke up in the hospital the next day.
Yeah, choked her twice, choked the wind out of her, rendered her unconscious. She was rendered unconscious. I broke it down on Thursday in the Rochester class. I'm over a zone in Western New York as well. And in that class, I broke down the Chad Wheeler situation. Chad Wheeler beat the brakes off this so-called black woman. I mean, beat her bloody to a bloody pulp. She had a blonde wig on in her one picture. She was in the hospital with no wig and a nose full of blood, full of dried blood like Oreo crumbs. Okay, like Oreo crumbs and red velvet cake. He also broke her arm, and he's saying, you know how white men get. He probably started crying.
Right.
Why did you hurt him? Because I was sad. Yeah, he hurt him because he hurt her because he was sad. He was having a maniacal episode. If had that not been for Martin Luther King, he would have did that to his woman. Let him do that to his woman. Let him pull her arm out. Let him pull Becky's arm out. Okay. Let him beat Hashmila Ehrlichman over at Bathurst. Let him do that.
Right.
But not our sisters, man. Not our sisters. It's because of Martin Luther King. It's because of these unclean spirits that our people are destroyed. And that was a horrible incident, man. Terrible incident. Sisters should learn from it. Okay. And just because he has money, just because he can buy you sneakers and Gucci and fly you out, doesn't mean he's not going to kill you and beat you half to death. All right.
Right, sir.
And that's because all that fault is laid at the Christian church. I don't care if she's never been to church. That spirit, it comes from the church. All right. working miracles. Keep reading in verse 14. Trooper Urad.
So Revelation 16 and 14, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of
Meaning
the
this goes to the rulers. This nonsense, especially that Vatican too. The nonsense that the Vatican is pushing is going to go forth to the kings of the world. They're going to hear it. The nonsense, the BS of the American military, everybody's going to hear about that. It's going to be front page in Istanbul, okay? West Borat, all right? It's going to be front page news in Vladivostok and all over. The kings of the earth, they're going to hear about this nonsense, man. Read on.
God, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, go gather, to go gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty.
Meaning these fools are going to hear America's the beacon of freedom, and they're going to sign up to go fight in the military. These fools are going to hear, let's all come together in peace and harmony and love in Jesus, and let's come together to fight the forces of evil. The forces of evil. Singing in Latin and whatnot. Meanwhile, he's going to go back behind the curtain, the veil, and molest children. He's coming out the veil, talking in Latin, right, saying we got to come fight the forces of evil. Who are the forces of evil if I'm America? North Korea. You understand? Iran. They're the forces of evil. And what is that going to do? That's going to prepare them to the battle of the great day of the Almighty. Amanda Gorman's silly speech, then whatever NATO says and has said in the past 9 months, whatever America has said about unification and fighting evil and fighting the invisible enemy, all that's to gather them, all that's going to gather all of them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty, of the Most High. All right? Read on.
Okay. Verse 6, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame.
Give me Matthew 24 and 46.
Okay.
Matter of fact, give me Luke. I'm on Luke. Give me Luke 12:43.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 43. Blessed is he, Salakia. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
Blessed is his servant, is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. You're going to be rewarded if when Christ, Yahushua, comes, and he's coming like a thief in the night, he's coming in like somebody coming in through your window. Okay? Like someone coming in through your door. That's how he's coming, like a thief in the night, like a robber, man. All right? That's how he's coming in. And blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Shall find doing what? Shall find him being a faithful and wise steward. That's what you want to do. That's how you want to conduct yourself, brothers and sisters, in here in the I.S.U.P.K. Everyone else outside of the truth, they're doing whatever it is that they want to do. They are not faithful at all. What faith do you have to have following yourself? Faith or belief do you have to have learning from yourself? There is none. Okay? Why? Because whatever you learn is what you think in your head.
Right.
It's what you're in accordance with studying, with reading. You must come to class. You must hear it from someone else. Why? Because you don't want to. When you do the things that you don't want to do and you persevere in them, you're faithful, man. That's how your faith is shown. Otherwise, you're not showing it. You're not going to play in the game if you don't go to practice. All right? You're not a good football player if you run routes on air by yourself. You're a good football player if you're good in the game. You got to get in the game, man. And the servant that's in the game and doing well, he'll be blessed. He'll be rewarded, man. He'll be rewarded. Yahushua could come tomorrow. You come any day now. And we have to conduct ourselves just like that. Because he's coming like a thief in the night. Read verse 45.
Come. Verse 45.
And if I could, that thief in the night, right? He's not okay. When a thief comes at night, is he hoping that people are awake or they're asleep?
Sir, he's hoping they're asleep.
So he's hoping you brothers, some of you brothers, not everyone's in the truth. So you trying to go in there, get the goods, the jewels, when they sleep and tucked in and crawl out. Okay, you trying to catch them lacking, catch them slipping. Yahushua, the one you call Jesus Christ, wants to catch you slipping. He's not the God of the Christian church. Oh, I love and hugs and Jesus and love of all nations. That's not what he is, man. He's a serious man. He wants to catch men slipping. That's why he said he's coming like a thief in the night. And when he's coming, the masses are not going to be awake. Okay, everyone's going to be doing just what they're doing now, and their heads are going to roll in their kitchen. Okay, that's how it's going down. So that's how it's going to work. The masses are going to be asleep. World is going to be doing whatever it's doing. Yeah, sure, there'll be World War III, but everyone will be having, there'll be World War III parties. Just like you would think COVID would make some women close their legs. It did not. The whoring continued. The whoring adapted. It got crafty and clever. Social distancing, only meet up at the house. She wasn't whoring at the club. Hell, they got drive-through strip clubs now. OnlyFans, the whoring has adapted. Drive-through strip clubs in Houston. You can drive through. The whores got their masks on. We did a story on it at the Black Watch. The whores have their mask on in Houston. You can see them show the crack of their behind from the car. Okay, socially distancing, of course, but still in a strip club nonetheless. Drug dealers are worried. Drug dealers in Philly are dropping the drugs off at a corner, and the crackhead would come pick the drugs up from the ground so they would socially distance, maintaining keeping 6 feet. Trooper Urad, drug dealers. Christ is coming like a thief in the night. They're going to be handing each other crack in craters, mortar craters, and running across the street to go be a whore when the machine gun fire ceases during ceasefire. Everybody gonna cram across the street to go and be whores and get high. Christ is coming in as a thief in the night. The masses are going to be asleep because he wants to catch men slipping. Okay, go ahead, Urad.
So, sir, my question is on what you're saying. It's heavy, sir. But I just have a question. Like when you say the masses, obviously that includes everybody because the masses. But what if Israel is sleeping, sir? Like our people. So what's going to happen to them as well?
Yeah, they're going to get, like I said, their head's going to roll in the kitchen. All right, that's what's going to happen. They're going to be killed, having on top of the whore they're having sex with. He's coming as a thief in the night. He's going to catch some of us slipping as well. You better not catch anyone in here slipping. You better not catch anyone in here asleep, because we're training you to be awake. You have classes every day so that you're awake. You're aware of what's going on. No one else is aware of what's going on. No one. Okay, when he comes, people are not going to be aware. They're going to be asleep. Urad?
So, sir, if I could, right? I only asked because there's like the words. I mean, I read somewhere where it says that maybe I got it twisted, but it said that salvation is for Israel, right? So I just that would include like, if you're asleep, then okay, it's great that you're awake, but some of them will get another chance, but I guess not, right?
We hope that all Israel is saved out of here, just like in Egypt. The Lord, however, prophesied that 2/3 of Israel will die over here on this side. The scriptures of Israel shall be saved. So how do you mend the two? Knowing that there are no contradictions in the Bible. Some people are going to die on this side, whether it be COVID-19 is cleaning the slate of a ton of sinners. All right. COVID-19, killing a bunch of whoremongers and crackheads and sodomites. AIDS clean the slate. All right. Gun violence is cleaning the slate. Rappers or what have you, everyone dying, all right, due to gun violence, drug overdose, opiates, perks, cleaning the slate of sinners. And when Yahushua returns, those that are still alive will be burned in thermonuclear war and or slaughtered by the angels. All right. Now, how will they be saved? They will be born in a place where they will not crack their legs open to every man on the block. They'll be in a place where there will be no opportunities to whore at all. They'll be in a place where not being a whore will be the standard. They'll be in a place where there is no crack corners. They'll be in a place where they're born into a good home. You understand? That's how they'll be saved. You understand? They'll be born under the 144,000. Their parents won't be, crackheads and single parents, single mothers and fathers that are alcoholics. Their parents will be the 144,000. And the
Right.
1/3, that the brothers and sisters that help those men and women, they'll be born to a good family, and because of that, they'll be saved, man. All Israel is going to be saved one way or another. Either you get it on this side and you rule, or you're born back in it. Okay, on the other side. All right.
Shalom. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat.
Yeah, about
Shalom, Ak, Most High in Christ.
Salakia, sir.
what ADR?
And can we use the precept where it says, I will put the laws in the inward part for that period of time, sir?
Yes, that's what's going to happen. At that time, you're not going to need a breakdown on weed being a sin. It's just going to be known. It's just going to be handed down, and it's going to be common knowledge. It's going to be popular culture. Smoking is bad. Smoking weed is bad. Molesting children is bad. Having sex with whores is bad. It'll be popular culture, and just like they know Christmas, children will know the Passover. Kids will be asking other kids, "What are you doing for the Passover? Where are you going? How are you coming in? What's your garment?" That's what it'll be. Peer pressure in the kingdom will be about the garment. Sisters, young girls, 17, 18-year-olds from the tribes be like, girl, what are you wearing? I'm wearing this. What are you wearing? Oh, check this one out. And they'll be, talking and having, feminine conversations about what dress they're wearing. Versus now, how much money did you make from your OnlyFans account? I made 60. I'm opening my OnlyFans account. Go support.
Right.
It's going to get burned. It's a 1,000,000-degree nuclear fire. All right. And the peer pressure will be, what dress are you getting? Where are you going? Where are you going to sit? Who knows what will happen? Because all Israel will worship. So I'm sitting in theater B, the super Israelite theater, the super Israelite school. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Teaching the millions, 144, teaching the millions on this earth of Israelites. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir. I was just saying, like you said, like there's like for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, every day we figure out a new way to entertain ourselves. Today, like right now as we speak, it's the Busted Challenge. But what we need is to get in the I.S.U.P.K and keep the law challenge, not be a whore challenge, not be a drug dealer challenge, sir.
Yeah, that should be a clip, a snippet. Give him a hand, man.
Right.
Get down. So, to your question, Officer Adiyar and Trooper Rod, all Israel will be saved. They'll be born into a beautiful place where they won't, won't be, raped at a young age, such that they believe it's normal to be a whore and be a stripper or what have you. They won't be robbed and beaten and abused at such a young age. They'll grow up with good parents and a good household, and they'll grow up doing the things that the righteous did to get there. You understand?
Right.
That's beautiful, and that's beautiful, man. And that's beautiful because many brothers and sisters died, not knowing the truth, died of AIDS. Forget about violence in Central America, violence in South America. Many of our brothers and sisters are gone. Many. And abortion, 1 and 2 children are gone. Okay? And they'll be able to come back in the right place. And through that, they'll be saved, all right? So let's read on in Luke 12 and 45.
Come on, sir. Luke chapter 12, verse 45. But, and if that servant says in his heart, my Lord delayed his coming, and shall begin to beat the manservant and live, and to eat and drink, to be drunken. The Lord
and love and be drunken. I'll read the rest of it. Verse 46, it says, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, like a thief in the night, and in an hour when he is not aware, again, like a thief in the night, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. Meaning what? They getting put to death. The cat with the OnlyFans, the woman with the OnlyFans, a woman that's a stripper, a murderer, thief, drug dealer. He's getting cut in half and thrown with them. And many brothers. The sad thing is many brothers and sisters in fake Israelite groups. That's what they did. That's how they got their start. They got their start from someone who began to get drunk, become a drunk, began to get lazy and sloppy. Teach that it was okay to rape. Teach it's okay to have sex with little girls. Teach it's okay to smoke weed. You can go to strip clubs. To teach that make round cakes on the new moon. Teach that Africans can come in. XYZ fake Israelite group came to fruition because of this, and sadly, that's many of their portions if they don't come back under the proper leadership, proper authority. All right, so drop that. Take me back to Revelation 12 and 16. So that's a precept for that. So if you walk naked, you see your shame, you're caught slipping, you're just beating your manservants and maidservants. You're not keeping your garments white. You're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, doing what Christ said to do. What is he going to do? From Luke 12 and 46, he's going to cut you in half. Okay? Christ is going to cut you in half. If he comes back here and he's not finding you doing what's right and doing your job. Verse 16.
Verse 16, Revelation 16 and verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon.
Armageddon. I believe that's the place of judgment. Armageddon is the area in between Saudi Arabia and what they now know as Israel. In the whole, it's talking about the Middle East, that region. That is the region of Armageddon. That is the seat of the main theater of World War III. They'll be fighting all across the earth, but the main fight will be in the Middle East. Okay? And George Bush started it in 2001 when he went to Iraq to invite. Now, you can quote him on this. George Bush sent the troops to Iraq to fight all the terrorists in the other side of the world that wanted to fight America. Why? Because he knew everyone that wanted to fight America would go and fight America in Iraq. ISIS and ISIL and Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, all that started from Bush, and before that, the Russians going into the Middle East to fight all of their enemies there in that region. And that's what started World War III. World War III started 9/11. September 11th, 2001 was the start of World War III. And the climax is coming soon. All right? Verse 17.
Verse 17.
Also, drop that. Let me get one more precept. I'm going to finish the rest of this next week. All right, so the next portion of Revelation, the 16th chapter. I want to get a precept too for the World Trade Center, in case anybody ever asks you about September 11th. You can tell people, that all that is in the Bible. All right, let me get Ezekiel. I think it's Ezekiel 25 and 7 is the precept we use in the UPK. All right. No, 28. I think it's 28. Yeah, it's Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 7. Someone read that.
So I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Verse Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 7.
There's a precept for 9/11. Whenever they attack a major structure, the Champs-Élysées attack and different terrorist attack that different criminals on the earth perpetrate against the United States. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 28, verse 7. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee.
I will bring strangers upon thee. The Lord will bring strangers upon thee. The Lord brought Arabs over to fly a plane into the World Trade Center towers. Okay, the Lord brought them over to commit acts of heinous acts against his country, massacres. The Lord sent them. Not the I.S.U.P.K, not the Hebrew Israelites, the Lord, the Most High. strangers. These people aren't Americans. They're from different countries, right? They're Chinese. They're Arab. They're North Korean. Read on.
Okay. And they shall select it.
No, after upon thee.
Concept. Therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations.
The terrible of the nations. These men are hardened killers. These cats that are attacking these people in France, especially, and the people that attacked Paris and killed like 113 people, those are not painters. Everyone understand? They're not artists. They're not painters. They don't, knit and sew for a living. They're not rappers. They're not skip the hop to the hippie to the hippie to the skip hip hop. They're not rhymers. They don't rhyme and rap and paint and make paintings and make drawings. These are hardened killers. They're going out to France and killing people. Those cats are typically veterans of war over in Syria, and they're veterans of war in Iraq. The terrible of the nations, killers, are coming to these different countries to massacre people. The Lord sent them, God, for their crimes, man, for their crimes that they've committed, because no one cared when the Spanish sent their murderers, their killers, their rapists to go and destroy the native Mexicans, to go and destroy the natives of Central America and enslave them, and enslave the natives of South America and put them on cocaine. That love of cocaine in South America started from the conquistadors. That's in another book that I'm going to send to Officers of Baja. All right, I believe it's The Open Veins of Latin America. There's another one that Zaka War had, Officer Zaka War had. All right, as well, where they cited in history that the natives of South America were first put on cocaine by the Spaniards so that they would go work in the mines, because then they would incentivize them. Look, you come out of the mines with some gold, I'll give you coke. You can get coke if you come out. If you don't come out with any gold, I'm going to kill you anyway. But that was the bartering system they had. A little bit of crack or coke, a line of coke for millions of dollars of gold. All right. That's what the Spaniards did, in copper and emeralds and all the stuff that they had the natives mining. Okay. And because of those acts, the Lord's bringing the terrible against them. All right. Read on.
Go on. And they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom.
Right, draw their swords. What's a sword? A weapon of war. So it's a plane, a bomb strapped to himself, an AK-47 in France, a knife, whatever. They'll draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom. What's the beauty of their wisdom? The World Trade Center Tower, the monument and pillar to freedom, the Freedom Towers. They'll draw out their swords against that. They'll draw out their swords against the Champs-Élysées. They'll draw out their swords against Nice, France, on Bastille Day. That's what they're going to do. So this Ezekiel 28:7 is a precept you can use for the World Trade Center going down, as well as whatever terrorist attack they commit against a great monument or structure or in an area, a historic area. All right. The Lord would send terrible, hardened killers from across the earth to come and draw out their swords against the beauty of their wisdom. The World Trade Center, Champs-Élysées, the Libyan embassy, whatever. The American embassy in Libya, what have you. Everyone understand?
Everyone.
I says precept for that. Officers of Baja, post a sign out link. I'm going to finish Revelation, the 16th chapter, next week. Swat to everyone for tuning in. With that being said, I pass the class over to Priest Officer of 500 ADR. Shalom.
Everyone, sir. Shalom. Most High in Christ, sir.
Make sure the announcement. Do the announcement. Do the announcements and then the Lord's Prayer after the class. All right. Shalom.
Shalom, sir.
Mention the Passover as well, please. So have the address and all that prepared. Shalom.
Clap it. Let's clap it up for Officer Ban one more time.
I'm right, sir. I'm right, sir.
You understand? With the understanding, with the knowledge, you understand? I mean, for all you in Montreal, for all you in Canada, Toronto, Officer Ban is the man. You understand? It's the man with the knowledge, man. Understand?
That's right.
Get in the I.S.U.P.K, man. Come get the knowledge, man, that you need, man. You understand? All right, let's get back to the subject that we was talking about. We was talking about we should not be effeminate, man. We should not be like a woman. Also, Zabaja, can you bring me back to the definition one more time of a question?
Khan, I don't Khan, sir. Salaki, sir. Let me find it. One moment.
No sweat. I'm not trying to share my screen. I want to show you some. Hopefully it works. Everyone see my screen?
La, sir.
La, sir.
More for us as a badger. Well, you understand, we're gonna talk about effeminate. We're gonna see what it is. Just like I was saying earlier, people talk about toxic masculinity. Your masculinity is not toxic, man. You understand? It's something that you should hold with pride. It's who you are. You are a man. You're supposed to be a man. You understand? Don't believe in that's toxic masculinity. Don't believe the feminists that's telling you, well, you know what, you have toxic masculinity. Where are those feminists for that them devil almost killed? Where are they? We need toxic masculinity, you understand? That's what's gonna protect our people, man. That's what's gonna protect our sisters, by being masculine.
Right.
Have you ever seen, do you see warriors being effeminate? Nah, warriors are masculine. Warriors are men. Warriors, man. Strong men. Understand? And do you have it, Officer's Budget?
Salakia, sir. Yes, I have the definition for you, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
Khan, sir. Effeminate, out of the Merriam-Webster dictionary, having effeminate qualities, untypical of a man.
Go ahead.
Not manly in appearance or manner, marked by an unbecoming, not manly in appearance or manner, sir. Salakia, that's that skinny jeans, sir.
What? God, that's what I was gonna say. God, that's shaving your beard for the Christian preachers, man. Understand?
Right.
That's being like a damn woman, trying to look like a woman, man. You understand? We got beard in the I.S.U.P.K, man. We understand that some people don't have beard, they can't, but you understand? It's like the native, they're masculine, man. They look like warriors. You understand? They're not effeminate. That's something that you should not be. Also, Zabaja, I'm trying to share the key.
Khan, sir, I'm gonna do it right now. Salakia, sir.
No sweat. I'm gonna show y'all something.
Khan, sir, it's in the share screen, sir.
Sign correct.
NBA sus moment, Slovakia.
No sweat. I'm trying to see if it works.
It's beer sauce moment.
You understand? These things I.S.U.P.K. You're not gonna see us talking about like this in the I.S.U.P.K. You're not gonna see us bring him close to our loins. See that? You're not gonna see us now. I mean, slapping brothers behind. You're not gonna see that. That's effeminate, man. You understand? That's qualities of a woman. You understand? You're not supposed to be like that. You understand? Right, go ahead.
Salakia, sir, it's like, okay, so I never really been into like sports like that where I was on the ball team, but majority of the brothers I grew up with, they were on the ball team, and they would talk like they're manly, but then they would score a 3-pointer and slap each other on the behind, sir. And then when you think about the things that were happening in, right, I forgot what college, but with Coach Sandusky, where he was molesting and touching the men. in the school, and it's just you see that
Right,
effeminate
right,
spirit play out all throughout sports, sir.
right. You understand? And this is what we're fighting off in the I.S.U.P.K, man. We need to get this effeminate spirit outside of our neighborhood, outside of our communities, man.
Right, sir.
Understand? We seen that way too much. Understand? And just like I was about to say, with the skinny jean, there's brothers that say, well, you know what? Pants are made for women, right? I asked him, I
Right,
asked one
sir.
of these brothers, well, are you gonna wear woman pants? Those woman pants, are you gonna wear them? He told me no. Why? Why you not gonna wear woman pants that says the pants are made for men? He's told me, well, they're women pants. There you go then. You understand? We should not be effeminate in the I.S.U.P.K, and we should not be effeminate as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. We should be men of war. You should be a warrior, man, ready to fight, ready to die for your people, man. You understand? Somebody bring me to First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22.
Another one. Con.
Khan, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22.
Go ahead.
Abstain from all appearance of evil.
Chapter 5, what question? Abstain for what?
From all appearance of evil.
Abstain from all appearance of No. Oh, Trooper, you're right. Let a man slap your ass. So like that.
Abstain from all
Yeah.
fear from evil.
Wear them skin jeans.
Abstain from all appearance of evil.
That's something evil, man. You abstain from everything that look evil. If it looks evil, man, you don't do it, man. You understand? Stay away from it.
Right.
Understand? As long as you see there's some kind of, you understand, effeminate, stay away from it, man. Understand? Like when we look at the dances, like our brothers dancing in the club, dancing, most of the dances are effeminate, man. You see them moving, gyrating, now, I mean, and everything. It's going crazy out there, man. Understand? Abstain from all appearance of evil, man. Understand?
Yeah.
And somebody to Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Like we gotta abstain from all appearances of evil. And a while back, the effeminate homosexual rapper Young Thug, he put on a dress to sell records. And a few days ago, he was on T.I.'s podcast, and he basically said, T.I. checked him and said, "Why were you wearing a dress? You did it for attention." And he said, No, I didn't do it for attention. And he said the most purple grape jelly thing I could think of. He said I did it because it matched my shoes.
Fire.
Damn.
Yeah.
You understand? Damn. Stay away from all appearance of evil, man. You understand?
Right.
I don't care if that dress match your shoes. Don't wear that dress. You're a damn man. You understand? You're a man. You understand? I was that. And what's that brother name also? The one that's supposed to be gay for Old Time Road. The one with the horse song.
That's Little X. I don't even say the Nas because Nas was a good rapper. He disrespecting that man's name. So that's Little X.
That's you understand? Stay away from these brothers now, man. These brothers should stay away from that mentality, man. You understand? You're a damn man, man. You're not supposed to wear a dress. You understand? I don't care if it matches your shoes. I don't care if your shoes have glitters on them and your dress has glitter. You understand? You a man, don't wear no dress, man. You understand? From everything that look evil, man. Right. Chapter 2, verse 5.
Deuteronomy chapter 22.
And somebody can live chapter 20, verse 13. Go ahead.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on.
What's that? So like what? So like a trooper. What's Jim Jones' daughter? What's her name? It's like
Salaki, sir. I don't know.
the rapper there, the rapper Jim Jones. I forgot her name. It's in the back of my head.
Oh, his name or
The one that's a dyke.
Salaki, I'm not sure, sir.
The dyke.
Salakia, sir. I have it right. 1 second. Let me see if I can find it, sir.
Salaki, sir, if I could.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. So,
Fuck yes, sir.
You were saying? Go ahead.
I don't think it's actually Jim Jones's daughter, but I believe that's false. But are you referring to young MA?
Young MA, come.
Salakia, sir.
Young MA.
Lucky, sir, if I may.
It was stuck in my head.
Lucky, sir, if I may. There was a rumor that, they're trying to say is Jim Jones her dad, because she kind of looks like him, right? with the braids.
Salakia, sir. That was on point, sir. You shoot from the arc with
Young
that.
MA. Read that part. Read that part again, Trooper. You're right.
God, sir. The woman should not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man
Woman, you. Go ahead.
God, sir. Neither shall a man put a woman's garment. For
You
all
understand? Young Tog. You understand? Y'all both at fault, man. Don't try to be like them, man. Separate from that mentality, from that. Separate your spirit from that, man. You understand? You're a woman. Be a woman. Be feminine, man. Something beautiful about a feminine woman. You understand? You're supposed to be feminine. You're not supposed to be masculine, trying to be a man, walking like a man. You understand? Be feminine, man. And you're gonna see there's brothers that's gonna love you to death. There's brothers that's gonna care for you, man. You understand? You soft spoken, man. You're not trying to be like a man and yelling, and you understand? Trying to have an Adam apple like a man. You understand? Be feminine, the woman you are. And for you, be masculine, man. Don't be like young thug wearing a dress because the dress matches shoes. You understand? You have glitter everywhere. You understand? Trying to be like Prince. You understand? Leave that alone, man. As Black Hispanics and Native Indian, we should not be like that. We are a royal people, man. You understand? We are royal people. You should be you understand? Royalty. All this nonsense is from the oppressor, man. You understand? Right. All this nonsense came from breaking, man, in slavery. You understand? Matter of fact, Officer Zabaja, do you have the article for me, Babu Pasha?
Salakia, sir. 1 second. Let me get it. Salakia, sir. I had two articles. Salakia, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Come.
Salakia, sir. Did you want the buck breaking article or the effeminate definition?
Buck breaking. Double question.
Con, sir.
Somebody bring me to Deuteronomy, Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. Double question. So the Bible says you should not wear what the woman wear. A man wearing a dress, you understand, is it's a sin. A woman wearing men's garment is a sin. Understand? You're not gonna see one of the women in the I.S.U.P.K wearing a men's garment like the garments that we wear to preach. You're not gonna see that, man. That's a sin, man. You're not gonna see a woman in the I.S.U.P.K trying to be a dyke. That's a sin, man. You understand? We
Salakia,
set
sir.
an example for our people how to be. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir. Like in Benjamite culture, like Caribbean culture, when you listen to Caribbean music, like you have an artist like Mavado who said it's a sin for a man to wash woman panties, right? That's to, like, to show you like there's
Right.
roles that men do and roles that women do, and like we know that like
Right.
like there's no sin that actually says that, but like there's just roles that men do and roles that women do, and a man doesn't do a sister's role ever.
Exactly. You understand? There's a place for everyone. There's a place for the woman and there's a place for the man. You
Right.
understand? Being in this damn kingdom, being in this kingdom, you understand, in this oppressor's kingdom, the oppressor tells you everything that's against God is good to do. You understand? And every time we follow this mentality, we become slave mentally. You understand? We become slave mentally because we follow the oppressor, the same person that was breaking us. You understand? And that's what I'm supposed to do. That's not what that's what we're not supposed to be like. But be a man, man. You understand? If being effeminate is toxic, that's what's toxic in Black, Hispanic, and Native community. Being
Right.
masculine is not toxic, man. Being a warrior is not toxic, man. You understand? It's a great thing for you to keep your masculinity. It's a thing for you to be a man. You understand? It's a good thing for you to speak rough like a man and not speak like no damn Christian preacher. You understand? All soft, effeminate, man.
Right.
Be a man, man. You understand? Who has Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13? Number question.
Khan, Adawan Khan. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
Right.
Committed what?
An abomination.
But Super Squad, that's a lifestyle though.
An abomination.
You understand? It's an abomination. It's a filthy, disgusting thing. A man sleeping with a man is a disgusting thing, man. You understand?
Right.
It's against nature, man. You understand? Keep going.
They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be
They shall
upon
surely
them.
be what?
Put to death.
They shall be put to death. Your blood is going on you. Like AIDS. AIDS is a blood disease, man. You understand? AIDS is a but that's against the Bible, man. You're a woman, be with a man. Be with one man and stay with that one man for the rest of your life. You're a man, have a woman, and keep that woman for the rest of your life. God, show her the way. Show her she should not be like a man. She should not talk like a man. Show her that she gotta be feminine. That you love her when she is feminine. You understand? Bring me to the buck breaking Bible officers of budget.
Khan, not one Khan. Buck breaking.
And somebody get marked. Go ahead.
Buck Khan, not one Khan. Buck breaking. The use of sexual violence against enslaved men as punishment for wrongdoing.
I knew that was some fire things. Salakia.
Right? So, Salakia, sir, I'm going to read a little. We've all watched movies, seen pictures, and heard stories of how terrible slaves were treated. But the story of how sexual violence was weaponized, was used by slave owners against slaves, is often forgotten. What is buck breaking? Mainly utilized by slave owners in the Caribbean. Buck breaking was used against male slaves who were seen as defiant. The process involved the slave owner forcing the enslaved man to lower his pants, good night, and bend over a tree stump to ensure that his buttocks were propped into the air. The enslaved man would then be flogged severely. This would weaken him so that he would not be able to resist the rape that followed. The white slave owner would then proceed to rape the slave several times. So, Salakia, sir, I got to read
You
that one more
understand?
time just so our people know. The white
Con,
slave owner,
go ahead. No sweat.
Salah Khan, sir, the white slave owner would then proceed to rape the slave several times.
You understand? And this is where it comes from, man. You're not supposed, you understand? In your laws, in your culture, you're not supposed to be effeminate. You're not supposed to be homosexual. You know who's homosexual on the earth? Man. This is where you got it from, man. And it was what? It was weaponized. It was weaponized for you to be effeminate. You understand? It's a war against you, against your sexuality that you don't even understand. It's not a lifestyle that you should be in. It's not a it's not a good thing that you there. You know what? A young man is gonna put on a dress because the dress matches his shoes, man. You understand? We need to wake up as a people, man. We need to realize what we gotta do and what we should not do, man. And the only place you're gonna learn that is in the I.S.U.P.K, man. Don't be like
Right.
these brothers out there that's soft, effeminate. Don't you understand? There's some, I'm gonna tell you, make what gonna make the government angry. You're gonna make white people angry, man. You understand? You soft, man. And you should not be like that. You should be a warrior. You should be, you understand, be ready to die for black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, man. Knowing your history, you should want to die for your people, man. Not being effeminate and being soft. You understand? What's the next step? Wearing a dress because the dress matches your shoes. Wearing skinny jeans and showing your buttocks outside, man. You understand? You should not be like that. But be a man. Come learn how to be a warrior. Learn how to be a priest of the Most High in the I.S.U.P.K, man. You understand? Well, I'm not gonna bring y'all too far. Somebody bring me to Mark 10, verse 6 and 9. If any one of you have a comment or a question about the subject, you understand? Go ahead, but feel free. Matter of fact, in Mark 10, verse 6, Bible question.
Salakia, sir. With the subject of Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
With the subject of the effeminization of black Hispanics and Native Americans, it's like everywhere we turn, it's like we're being attacked and they're saturating and flooding everything that we view as, especially in the entertainment industry, everything we view as entertainment with homosexuality. Like there's a show that I just like, I was watching it because it's a black show, and you already know we watch anything black, right? So 50 Cent had a show called Power. The first few seasons were good. The last season, they brought in Mary J. Blige and some fair-skinned brother, and they made him a purple effeminate, right? They made him a girl camp. And I just had to stop watching it, sir. I can't even watch it no more. Now I don't even watch TV. I watch YouTube, anything I.S.U.P.K, old camps, classes, just anything I.S.U.P.K. That's what I watch.
And back to exactly what you just read. Sex has been weaponized on our people, man.
Right.
Understand? Sex has been weaponized, and we're not even seeing it. And people just watch the show and think it's funny. Well, oh, look at the black man, you understand, being soft, you understand, acting like a girl. Nah, man, it's a weapon that they are at war against your spirit, man. They are at war against your morality, man. They are at war against you, man. And the devil knows that the more you sin, the more you're gonna be oppressed. He knows the more you sin, the more he could put.
Right, sir.
You understand? They knows this, man. They weaponize sex. They weaponize the gender, and that's what we're gonna read. Who has the verse?
Okay.
And so like, let me add this too. That ties into Officer Zabaja, what Officer Zabaja was saying, ties into what Dave Chappelle was saying as well. You understand? He
Right,
was saying
sir.
like
Definitely.
when he had the script, when he had this, they had, you understand? Is bunker whatever the place he was in, he had a dress in there, and he was like, what is the dress in there? That's not for me. You understand? And they had the script where, you know what, you got to put the dress on and do the scene, and he didn't do the scene. What we see in TV, they put strong black men in a dress. For what? Because sex has been weaponized. Your sexuality has been weaponized. Masculinity is not toxic. What is toxic is being effeminate. That's
Right.
toxic. That's what's destroy our people, man. Dave, Dave Chappelle knew it. You understand? And he had to run away from the white man, from the damn devil, and to Africa, man, in fear for his life. Understand? The verse, Baba Question.
Okay. This is Mark chapter 10 and verse 6. But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female.
Wait, Trooper Shaya one. Nah, there's a third gender though.
Made them male and female.
Well, you know what? Man could go pee in woman's bathroom today though.
Made them male and female.
And there's male and there's female. There's not in between, man. You understand? There's not mix of them both, man. There's male and there's female, man. You understand? And that's why we need to have. Don't listen to the lies of the damn devil. Don't listen to the lie of your oppressor, man. Telling you, you know what, this is a lifestyle. Do what you please. If you're not happy, you understand. You have male anatomy, but you know what? You are a woman inside of your head. You understand? Don't believe in the damn devil, man. The devil is not here to tell you the truth. Will tell you a lie and let you live in a lie. You understand? That being said, don't be effeminate, man. I'm not gonna keep the class any longer. And don't be effeminate. Be ready to be a warrior for God, man. Be a warrior for the Most High. Understand?
Damn right, sir.
Most High in Christ. That being said, I pass the class to Christian Officer Zabaja.
Come on, sir. The water, sir. Clap it up. I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be secluded only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashara, which means tenth in Hebrew, 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like, up and coming holy convocations, the Feast of Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, Thursday, February 25th, and Friday, February 26th, 2001. The book of Esther, chapters 9 to 21. Hopefully, the Most High eases up just a little, our oppressors stop being so goddamn scared, so we could gather for the Feast of Purim, whether in Toronto or Montreal. Also,
Right.
we have the Passover coming up. Salakia, one moment. The Lord's annual Passover is around the corner, hosted by Commandant General YAHANNA. April 24th in Houston, Texas. Start making preparations now. This year's annual Passover will be held at the BH Ranch, 1414 Player Street, Houston, Texas. Hotel arrangements have been announced. Contact your camp leader. The camp leader for Canada is Officer 5000. A bond, you can contact him at a bond UPK on Facebook. Contact your camp leader for the hotel arrangements. The Passover fee is $200 per person. If you paid your Passover fee from last year, you only have to pay $50 this year. With that said, a reminder to Akim and Akwath to check the ISUPK.com website for any up and coming events and information. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, and headband / scarf. Don't forget you can sign the link that's in the chat for UPK benefits if you want a name and you want to be a trooper or you want to join the school. With that said, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer, salute, and end the class. Men of Israel, Akwathi, I'm watching. Imajim, which means to stand. Sarpan Yah HaKodam, which means turn and face the east. Sisters, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer. Keep your head covered with a head wrap. We're going to go into the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, then in English, and we're going to salute and end the class. Abanawa.
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 Bashmayim.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Ka.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwa.
Lakwaka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Yeah.
Hayah.
Ayah.
Aisha.
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 Barataza.
Baharat.
Baratazah.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Ayah.
Bashamayam.
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 Falanawa.
Dalanawa.
Lakam.
Akam.
Ka.
Ka.
Yawam.
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 Wasalaknawa.
Wasalat.
Wasalaknawa.
Wafnawa.
Kawabakmanawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kasalat.
Wasalaknawa.
Kabwafinawa.
Kawabwafyanawa.
Wala'a.
Wala.
Tabayanawa.
Tabayanawa.
Banasayuwan.
Banasayawan.
Abba.
Abba.
Hawashinawa.
Abba. Awashinawa.
Mayan.
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 Right.
Ra.
Yalaka.
Kayalaka.
Yalaka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wahala. Tha'aparatha. Salakia. Wahatha'aparath.
Paraf.
La'ai walamyam.
Iwalamyam.
Aman. We're going to continue and say the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
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 Thy kingdom come.
Thy
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth
Thy will be
Thy
done.
will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
Our
our
daily
daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our
forgive
debts,
us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into
And lead
temptation,
us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom
For thine is
and
the
the
kingdom
power,
and the power
and the glory,
and the
and the glory,
forever so be it.
forever so be it.
Men of Israel, Akwafi, I'm watching. Sar, which means turn. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and then a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Bashem Yahashai Barakatah. Yad Yamatah, which means hands down. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Shemai, Alepha Ba'ashem Yahashai. Yah Yamatah, hands down. Men of Israel, Akwafi, I'm watching. Class dismissed.